And welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to thank you for tuning in and watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to a section called At the Bench, which is just below in memory of our friends. If you are not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, pardon me, I can't mute that. Anyways, if you're not a member or not logged into the Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at Stunthangar Video Hangouts .com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. Now, when you register, you must register using your real first and last name. When you register, you must also put a space between your first and last name. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here, and I'll do my best to make them part of the show. And understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do that during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, Saturday at John videos, the contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, and subscribe. It won't cost you a penny to do that. Subscribe and share the videos, comments. All these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member of myself. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account each and every month, and I don't miss it, and I suspect you won't either. You can also show your support by donating to the Super Chat, which is below the Super Chat chat box there. Down below that, there's a big dollar sign. You can donate any amount you like. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar, and with your memberships, you'll get special badges that Sparky and I can see in the YouTube chat box. You also have unlimited access to member-only videos, which Sparky has on this channel that you might not see anywhere else. And please do that. We need your support. Hopefully, this is we're going to have a better year than last year. Last year was not bad. It was better than the year before that, and hopefully, we just continue to grow and grow attention to our hobby that hopefully you love and enjoy just like I do. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. I'm only in here twice a week, Monday and Friday nights. But if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt, just like I do. I fly control line stunt. My channel is called Flying Control Line Stunt. If you go there, locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is the video Sparky shot of me flying his Junar XL. And I'll receive a notification and be able to respond to you quickly. And I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at Stunthangar Forum. Let me do that right now. And let me turn off this Alexa here. Sorry about that. My family has returned, so there's all kind of pages going on. Let me see here. So that's done. And let me go to the what I call the control panel. I see Tom Rammel's there already. Let me see here. Just give me a moment. Hope everybody had a good weekend. It's been raining a lot out here. I know it's not supposed to rain in Southern California, but things have changed. So it looks like we have 7 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much. We only have 4 likes. So please, those few of you who have not hit the like button, please do that. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps the analytics of the show. And also subscriptions help the analytics of the show too. So if you've been coming in and you enjoy the show, and please subscribe. That helps the analytics. It helps so that when you go to your home feed, you'll see this as a recommended view on the right side of your home screen when you log into YouTube. All right, so let me get rid of this and got that. All right, and let's see, what about the other thing? Did I do that? Let me do that now. And we'll be off to the races. We'll be cooking with gas. I've been working on my Brodac P40 ARF. It was given to me and had quite a bit of damage on it. I have probably the earlier iteration of the Brodac P40. It actually has the windows in it, and they were all torn up, and it was just covered up with packing tape. It looked pretty tacky. So I removed most of the green covering that was on top of where the clear is, and actually had to replace the window, the glass, the canopy frame, which makes the windows, and then put the clear on top of that, and then put the color, which had to cut out the windows net and put that on there. It was kind of an ordeal, but it came out really nice. I'm very, very happy with it. I wish the green I had was the exact match of the green that's on the P40, but in the right light, you really can't tell. It's the wrong hue, but I'm sure from maybe 10 feet away, it was not that noticeable. So that's cool. And I'm looking forward to flying that. Once the weather dries out, I think we're having like cloudy days one day, and then the next day is rain, and cloudy days next day and rain, back and forth. It's not conducive to dry out the field. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll be able to fly this Friday. Hello, Mark. How you doing?
Hey, is it just me and you?
Right now? I invited lots of people.
Hey, I'm going to, I'm guessing it'll be March. I'm going to be out in San Diego for a week.
Oh, man, we got to hook up.
I'd love to see you.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's put some flying in.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, yeah, it should be beautiful in March. You'd be in the beautiful weather.
Yeah, my sister and brother-in-law live in a quaint little place called Ocean Beach.
Okay, yes, that's a little bit of a ways from here, but yeah, I know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, and I have access to a car. So
oh, cool. Yeah. You won't need to worry about a plane. I was just talking about my Brodac P40, and you can fly that.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
There's Stuart.
Hey, Stuart, how's it going?
Good.
I guess everyone else still has a hangover.
Yeah. That's right. Happy New Year.
That's right. Happy New Year.
Well, I just felt like, okay, I'm back in 2023. All right.
That's
my
it.
first time actually putting 23 was on the title of this YouTube video. That's the first time I typed in 2023.
That's right. I have a show and tell later when we get some more people.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, working on the fuselage.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I see Jim Hoffman avatar, so he should be here momentarily.
Yep.
And that's a beautiful
they're starting
plane.
to come in. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but I frequently, maybe once every 2 weeks, go to a little place called Mary's Country Kitchen. And Mary's is a little place in a middle-class neighborhood. The servers are all older and very kind and sweet. And for the heck of it, I decided to Google it and see what the reviews were, because it's inexpensive. And the reviews were very good. It was like 4.5 out of 5.
That's good.
And I kept reading them. And then I got to one that was apparently someone maybe 18 or 19-year-old female. And she writes, had a very nice breakfast. It was kind of like homemade. However, maybe it was the day that I was there. I don't know. But I'm telling you, there were a lot of men there that were old. Some of them, and then she said, and I'm talking about over 70. And I died. I wish I could have responded and apologized to her for still being alive.
No.
It was so funny.
Invited to a control line stunt contest.
Yeah, that's right. How can you call us old?
You'll see a bunch of more old people, and you go, wow, those guys can fly. That's amazing.
I got the biggest kick out of that.
That is so
I remember my daughter told me when she was in high school, junior high school, this teacher I have, he's ancient. And so we went to the parent teacher greeting night. And he was my age. He was probably in his 40s at the
time. Well, you see, your daughter, like my daughters, don't think I'm that old. They don't think I act old. I think it's because we fly model airplanes. I think that keeps us young. I really do believe that.
Absolutely.
I get told that so much. You don't act like you're 65, and they're just amazed. I go, well, thank you very much. I have young kids too. That keeps me young too, I like to think. But I think flying model airplanes keeps us young.
Yeah. I do some teaching every once in a while. I was asked to get with a group of college freshmen, maybe about 50 of them, and talk to them about simple finances, about saving money and about spending money and their responsibilities. And somehow I got off track a little bit, and I mentioned something about Ringo Starr. And it was like, who? And I said, Ringo Starr. And they were like, and finally someone said, was he one of those Beatles? I said, yeah, he was one of those Beatles. Gee.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's probably 50 years difference between us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I was Christopher Columbus, It was just...
I have a retro granddaughter. She's 9, and she's got Def Leppard T-shirts and Led Zeppelin T-shirts.
Oh, I love her.
I don't know how that happened.
Wow, that's neat.
Was she late in delivery or something?
Yeah, 40 years.
Let me welcome you, Jim. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, Jim. And thank you, John Miller, for coming in. Appreciate it.
John Miller.
So I've got a show and tell too we can do.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Mine's very simple.
I have a few messages in our chat box. Let me get up to speed with that. So I see Tom Rammel. He said he provided the like. Thank you, Tom. And then Jeff Riley says, like sent. Not too much of a hangover here, but scrubbing silver and candy blue off the fingers now. Alrighty. And then John Lytle says, Charles, over the weekend, I had the house to myself, was able to spray the first coat of color on my new plane, actually came out well, wet sanded with 600, then spray again. Fantastic. That's great, John Lytle. I like to see a picture of that new plane. Let me know what it is. And then T-Bone 1260, he says, Happy New Year, gentlemen. Happy New Year, Tom Luciano. And so we're all caught up. And then Keith Trossel is in here.
Yep.
Hey, Keith, thanks for coming in. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
How you doing?
Doing good.
All right.
I'd like to know how many of the 6 of us were up at midnight.
Not me.
Wow.
But I was in my bed with my eyes open still, waiting for the midnight, and I went and I said, "That's it. I'm out of here."
That's borderline.
I was working on the computer, doing the work on the upgrade for this airplane here.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, your voice has changed since last year.
Well, I've been sick, kind of like Phil, I think.
All right, hope you feel better soon, buddy.
I hope so too. Hey, I had a good meeting with Marcel Legrand,
Oh, great.
New Zealand, earlier today on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And I asked him how his summer's going. He says they've had a week or so of rain, and they've got 2 more weeks of rain going. They're not doing any flying at all. Their Nats is coming up. It's going to get rained on, I think.
Wow. Oh. So has he done any more building? I don't know. You showed some images of his was it a Pathfinder he had built? A twin?
Twin Pathfinder. He hasn't done much on it. He's been busy with other things. He also is a hang glider pilot, and he also fishes. I don't know how strongly he fishes, and go-karts. So he's got his book pretty well full.
And we welcome Dennis Adamison. Hey, Dennis, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Hi, Denny.
Happy New Year, everybody.
How you feeling?
Mostly with my hands. Oh,
Why do I ask?
I think that's a sign. I think I'm feeling better, Mark.
I think so.
That's it. So,
Well, it's your gain, our loss.
I don't know, Mark. You were probably going to lose no matter what came out of this as soon as I showed up. So,
No.
hey, I've been thrown out of better joints than this. So, what that?
You know I love you.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, my mother did. She grew to love me. So
He had to, though.
actually, what she said is, let's just be friends. So
She couldn't throw you back, did he?
that's it.
Where are you in relation to your brother in terms of age? Are you older or younger?
I'm the middle brother. And
You're the middle
so
brother.
Arch
Yeah.
is the oldest. Dave, the one we lost last February, he was number 2. And then Alan, who I think Keith has met him, and that'd be about it. Alan is the youngest brother. And then I have a sister, Marie. So
Well, before Archie got hurt, we had a really good relationship. He'd come down to a contest, he'd stay, he and his wife would stay with us. And we spent a lot of time together.
Oh, that's nice.
No, isn't Marie married to the Lee?
I'm sorry again.
I'm saying, isn't Marie married to the Lee brother?
She
Son?
was married to Pete Bergstrom, and they split up. And of course, Pete is gone now. So
Oh,
she's on to other things. So she got
Oh.
married again a couple of years ago. She's doing well.
okay. I thought the Todd Lee married into your family.
Well, Todd Lee was married to Arch's daughter, but they split up.
Oh,
So
20th century love.
yeah, that's it. We got things all over the place. But yeah, Todd and Amy. Amy was Arch's daughter, his second child. And so yeah, that was special too. That was well, I don't know. Those things happen, and I'll let it go at that. So
Yeah.
Let me welcome Howard Rush. Hey, Howard, how are you doing?
Hey, Howard.
Thanks
Howard's
for
in the
coming in.
house.
Appreciate it. What you been up to, Howard? You been doing anything with model aviation?
I rewrote the control geometry program,
Ah.
and now I'm confused.
Welcome to the club.
You must have it right.
Well, I hope so.
What was wrong with the old one?
Well, I calculated advantage over the control surfaces from the lead outs to the control surfaces, and the old calculation was kind of noisy. It's a long story, but I refined the calculation, and now it's not as noisy, and now it produces believable results that are kind of puzzling. Namely, if you get a lot of leverage over your controls by using full Bellcrank movement on a conventional control system, the leverage varies a lot. So maybe you're better off with not so much Bellcrank movement. Even though you can keep the controls linear for most any Bellcrank movement, maybe you shouldn't move it a lot because you might have a strange feel in your controls. So, see, it sounds like I'm puzzled, doesn't it? It's because I am.
Are you making a case for a smaller Bellcrank?
No, if anything, a larger Bellcrank.
Did you factor in Ted's round Bellcrank?
No.
That's good. I'd hate to prove that out to be the best way to go, because I can't see how you keep it working.
Even in the wire in the track, yeah.
Yeah.
So what size Bellcrank does this thing kind of lend itself to that it'd be more stable and better?
Oh, I don't know. I could see having a 5 or 6 inch Bellcrank.
Okay. No, Wendy had a 6-inch Bellcrank in his sweeper, right?
Sounds like a good idea. I could show you a picture, I guess.
All right.
If I can find it. Keep talking, guys.
All right, I'll keep talking.
Let's see now.
There's talking.
Yeah, so much for talking. I'll just show it to you on the screen here.
Make it big here.
Yeah, I can't.
That's very good.
Yeah. Can you read it? Probably not.
Well, it's just moving too much, but yeah, I see flap angle.
We can read it.
Okay, don't read the caption. It's wrong.
All right.
This is the for various. What is this? Mechanical advantage for various size Bellcranks, starting from 5 inches, 5.5, 6.5. No, shit. What is it? 5, 5.25, 5.5, 6. I think something like that. And it's 1 over mechanical advantage. So it gets more uniform and better as you go to a larger Bellcrank. That's kind of a preliminary.
Looks pretty linear to me.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's with somewhat limited control movement.
Yeah, I was considering putting in a 4.5 Bellcrank in my next build, just to see what I thought of it.
Yeah, use the program. You see where you can put all the holes in the horns and stuff.
All right. Yeah.
Get it linear. I did one for Tim's Impact. I can send it to Mark if he's building an Impact.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I have I'm going to do a show and tell on the fuselage progress so far.
Okay.
Oh, great.
You put Bellcrank yet?
Not yet, but I had a question for you. And I'm trying to, it's confusing me because for years I flew giant scale RC aerobatics, where you had to have 160, 200 ounce output arms per servo to move such big surfaces. But I remember the rules were when you're looking at your control horn on your surfaces, they didn't want it anywhere near the pivot point. They wanted it deep, far away from the pivot, from the hinge, to give you better, number one, better mechanical advantage. But two, each servo had a certain number of steps, 160, 180 steps, whatever that meant. And if it was close to the hinge line, each step would move that thing too far.
Yeah.
And I've always thought about that in relation to what you were talking about. When you did the test, does it also depend, Howard, on where the hole for the output arm is compared to where the pivot is?
Yeah.
Is there a rule of thumb on that? It seems like it's, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch, 7/8 of an inch. Is it? Did you see anything different?
Not really. I've been using windy bell cranks, so the holes are 0.8 inches
Okay.
from the axle, and that we got that working well with the Igor mechanism. Tim has a bell crank with a hole 0.9 inches, so I made that work. When that particular distance, if you increase that distance, the flap control horn gets longer as the main effect.
Okay.
But there's some messing around with it you got to do to get it linear.
Yeah. No, I haven't put a bell crank in yet. And this may be a stupid question, but are there commercially available bell cranks longer than 4 inches? Or do you have to kind of make your own?
I know if you ask Tom
Mars?
Tom Morris, he would make you a bell crank. If you wanted it to be a certain length, he'd make it for you. Yeah, Tom Morris did that for me. He made me a 4.5 inch bell crank. Welcome Joe Gilbert and Philip Bailey. Thank you, gentlemen. Happy New Year.
Hi, guys.
First
Happy
show of the
New Year.
Mark, to answer your question, I'm not aware of any commercially available bell crank wider than 4 inches.
Wider than 4. Okay.
I remember a study that was done that on our modern stutters, that we really don't use much more than 7 to 12 degrees of flap either direction in doing our maneuvers. We use a lot more elevator for
Right.
Oh, I'll figure that out. I got instrumentation on my flaps in the new dog. I haven't hooked it up yet, but we'll see just how far.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing it.
Okay.
Because I really wanted to see that.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, there was a fellow from Australia that developed a horn system that had adjustable horns, or down the rod that was supporting the bell crank went through the wing and was he had a thing he could take off, a cover he could take off on the bottom, and he had a arm going both ways. It was slotted so he could adjust it for the amount of throw, and he could take either one, the elevator or the flap, down to almost zero.
Oh,
And so he played around with it. He came out with 7 degrees, was really all flap he needed on his airplane at that time. But I forget what he had for elevators, but it wasn't much. It was less than 30 degrees.
Must have been a very tall flap horn, I would guess.
That I didn't have any information on his horns. Just what he had, they're off the bell crank.
Yeah. Wow.
Let me welcome Brad LaPointe. Hey, Brad, thank you for coming in. Happy New Year to you. And Phil,
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Phil, you have a
I was
comment?
just saying, hey to Brad.
Hi.
I've thought about that bell crank driver thing going out the bottom of the wing and in the bottom of the fuselage or the hatch there, being the ultimate way to make adjustments on your flaps and elevators. I've thought about it. One of these days I'm going to have to build it and try it.
Tryon built something like that. It was really cool.
Yes, he did. Yes.
A friend of mine does that.
Which one, John?
You know, Joe Reinhardt builds a unusual flap horn
Uh-huh.
and the elevator.
Oh, Cheyenne's coming in.
Yeah,
The
good
flap
deal.
horn has a lower horn that
Uh-huh.
drives the elevator.
Hey, Cheyenne, Happy New Year. Thank you for coming in.
Happy New Year. That's
we're
why
just talking about you,
to say
Cheyenne.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah, we
Happy
was just
New Year
talking
to
about
you.
you, Cheyenne.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Okay.
He's talking about your bell crank and your push rods coming off your bell crank and your evolutions, how it's fully adjustable.
This was pre-evolution. I don't know whether he still has that or not.
I still have it in mind.
It's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys, Gary Sinclair's not here because he's fighting COVID.
Oh, no. Oh,
I think I
no.
caught whatever it was Phil had.
Oh, Lord, you don't want it.
Oh, I got it, I'm sure.
That's bronchitis
Open
and sinusitis. And if you're
Well,
not
hope it
real
ain't
careful,
COVID.
well, mine wasn't, but if you don't stay inside and take care of yourself, it turns into pneumonia real quick. Trust me, you don't want it.
I just take the dog out and come right back in.
Yeah. Bundle up real good.
I do.
If you got any of
Look
that
like-
antifreeze y'all were talking about the other night, take it before you go to bed so you can sweat during the night. Don't kick the covers off. Sweat. That'll do you more good than anything.
Remember that kid in the Christmas movie that mom had put him out there and he couldn't move his arms because he's like that?
Yeah.
Well, I got a heavy duty jacket that just about does that to me, you know.
Yeah.
Mark, you wanted to say something, Mark?
Yeah, do you mind if I take 5 minutes and show you the fuselage?
Yeah, do that, please. That'd be
All
great.
right. Let's see if I can get this working right for me.
All
It's
right.
backwards, which is kind of what I am. Can you make me bigger?
Yep. We'll
You're
do.
full screen.
Well,
When
I'll
he's
make them bigger
talking.
now.
Oh, okay. Let's see what I can do with this camera here. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Excellent.
This is the mold buck that I've shown you before.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And it's that blue flotation foam. And this happens to be the top of the fuselage up to the canopy. And where am I here? Here we go. It's set up for, I think there are 332nd formers, which are very easy to make. You just, put them in there, a sheet, vertical grain, and then you just trace it and cut it out to shape. But the next step for me is to make the skins for the top and bottom. So this is the top mold buck.
All right.
And the base fits in my vise very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of these probably took an hour to make, maybe an hour to make. Okay. You can see the former locations along here in the center line.
Very good.
So from that, I also have one that's a top view. And from that, I built the fuselage. Let me see if I can show you that. Here we go. There we go. So this is the top of what's going to be an impact. Okay. The formers in there are 1/8, very light. I just hogged them out as much as I thought. I may hog them out some more. And in building planes Bob's way, the profile of the root, it's actually not the root, but where it's about 1.5 inches in from the root. I made an extra wing, only about maybe about 7 inches of it. So with the accuracy of the cutout is really phenomenal. So what I'll do once I join the wing halves is cut out those not the first former, but the second one and the third one that you can see.
I see.
So there'll just be a piece on the top and a piece on the bottom. The wing will slide in. I'm going to cut out a little bit of the leading edge. Okay. For that former, you can see it back there.
Yeah, very
And
good.
I just tend to use light ply to give me some strength and uniformity up front. So you're actually looking at the top of the fuselage. What's missing is the motor mount, which would be about 3/4 of an inch back from the end. And I'm going to use a 1 3/4 spinner on a 2-inch opening. So it'll have that air coming in.
Oh, nice.
Okay. The fuselage sides are 3/32, and from the former right there, you can see the inside doubler, plywood doubler.
Yeah.
Okay. That's 1/32. It goes all the way to the front, but it has a built-in curve from using a little foam jig that Bob built. So it puts a curve in it while the doubler is drying. So
Nice.
it's a real nice system. It's simple. So the top, just about what you can see here, is going to be stationary. I'm going to have a bottom hatch because I just think maybe the top hatches are easier, but I just don't think they look quite as good unless you're a really good builder. So the bottom is going to be the hatch. The whole bottom is going to be the molded balsa with using what I showed you before.
Yeah.
Okay. So the moment should be the same as probably Howard's or Paul's impact. The canopy will look a little more racy. Okay.
Is that a rear mounted electric motor?
I'm going to front mount this.
Okay.
Okay. I'm using that G10 material. I've used it before in other planes. Bob and I always forget his name. I can't think of the guy's name. A very bright guy designed this G10 mount, and you just have to be careful cutting it. Use some eye protection and because those little splinters will get you.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a badass. Pardon the language. 35. I think it's an 18. Swinging. What Paul recommended was something like a 3-blade, 11.5, maybe 4, something around there. I think it's the Igor's prop.
Yeah.
Well, it looks nice and clean.
Yeah, there you go. So the fuselage from the dead side, if I can do this, is going to be about 1.5 inches higher on the top at the peak, and the bottom piece is going to be maybe 1.25 inches. So I just wanted to have a little more depth. The width is a little over 3 inches. I just like a little wider fuselage. And I also like it so at the back, I'm not being crimped on having an adjustable elevator horn.
Right.
I've had to make one plane where I had to open up the fuselage on the side so I could do that. I didn't want to do that again. So when we cut the sides, when I cut them out, those lines for the elevator or the stab should be dead square to the center line on the wing. So that's the hope. And then we got to check it from a front and rear view to make sure it's not tipping one way or the other. So again, my next step will be there's no sheeting top or bottom. But if I can show you this is challenging for someone like me.
Oh, good.
There we go. You can see that the indentations in the foam match up with the formers in the fuselage.
Yeah, very good.
So those half moons are going to mount to the top of the formers. Okay.
Is the motor in line with the wing as well?
It's about 3/8 to 1/2 inch below it. If I remember right, the plans that I had for it, it was not an inline airplane. Howard,
No.
did you make yours inline or is it?
No,
No?
no, not yet.
Mine's not in line either.
Okay. So That's probably a couple of days. And you guys know, just measuring and trying to keep the sides even. I built in a jig. And you can kind of look at it. It's pretty good.
It does look nice.
You know, things that need to be changed, I'll just split the former and change them. As Bob says, no one's going to notice, but the builder notices. So
Yeah, hard to hide from the builder.
yeah, it's not going to be a 20-point airplane. It's just an airplane that I believe I can grow with. It'll be better than me. And when I feel good about it, I'll probably try to build a lighter one. But I'm shooting for mid to upper 60s. Try not to make it too much more than that if I can help it.
That's about where mine ended up.
So there it is. I know it's not exciting, but it's fun for me. I want to do less administration this year and a lot more flying. So I figured I better get this plane and one other ready by the end of March. So that's it.
Are you making anything removable on that mark, or are you putting it all together in one piece?
No, it's going to be one piece.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's going to be
probably
one
why
piece. It's about, I don't remember the squares. Howard would probably know. Maybe 660, 670, maybe.
750.
It is, okay.
Mighty close.
Mighty close. So far it's straight, which I'm really happy about. And I probably, for my old days of RC, I probably still overbuild a little bit. But I'll get better at that. So hopefully before I die, I'll have a quality airplane that I can fly well.
Yeah, it looks good.
Mark, yeah.
So,
Mark, what are you using for the skins on the top and the bottom?
I'm going to be using 1/16.
1/16 with a, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can probably, I think if you do a 1/16 with the ribs over there, it's going to be a little bit of a starving horse in time, especially when you put the paper on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that look. If you want to get away from that, and maybe even simplify some things, what I usually do, I laminate two pieces of 1/16 on top of each other. And
Yeah.
I use some Elmer's wood glue, which I diluted quite a bit. So it's just a little bit of Elmer's wood glue and water, about 50-50. So it's super thin. And you laminate on top of each other. And the beauty of that stuff, it doesn't need any ribs inside, any structure inside of it. And it maintains its shape in time.
Right.
Without any kind of issues, especially if you want to do something like that on the cover for the battery on the bottom.
Right.
That's a good
Shape
suggestion.
will maintain its shape without any structure underneath it.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. I'm gonna consult with Bob before I do that.
Sure, yeah.
What I'm gonna do, if it is 16th, is put in a layer of carbon mat on the inside.
You know what
It
Bob
doesn't
does?
add any strength. The carbon mat doesn't really add strength.
You know what Bob does? Bob uses some, what's that? His good buddy runs that company that makes Easy Lamb, I think it is, or something like that. It's a epoxy. He epoxies the inside of the molded piece. And
right.
If I remember correctly, he uses no bulkheads or no, top piece. It's just tight. So that's on his real delicate
well, yeah, Easy Lamb might work if you do it properly, but anytime you put epoxy, it's going to be a lot heavier, I think.
Yeah, you have to.
I think Elmer's glue with water that's watered down, and you soak your two sheets in water. It's both compatible and it's super light too.
No, I appreciate
it. All
that.
Evaporates.
One thing I learned, I'll get off this mic, was we talked about the joint because I didn't have 48-inch long balsa. And Bob said, where are you going to put the joint? And I said, well, probably toward the back. And he said, I learned something recently. Don't do that. Put the joint where you have doublers. So inside the joint is the 1/32 inch plywood, which I think is a pretty smart way to go.
Yeah, I think that's very smart.
Yeah. So it's still pretty light, and I'm hopeful. I'll keep you guys in the loop, and I think I've talked enough, so thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Mark.
Looks good, Mark.
Showing it.
It's nice, Mark.
Thank you.
Very good.
I have
Very
a
good.
question for Mark, though.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have adjustments at the elevator horn?
Yes.
I noticed I didn't see a hatch.
Not yet. Not yet. But I will.
All right, so
Get it stiffened up.
yeah,
Yeah.
something I try to do is on my fuselage sides, every hole, every hatch, everything is done while the fuselage side is just a flat sheet on the bench.
Yeah.
Including the hatches.
Yeah. That would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
It really would have. I was even thinking about where the holes are going to be for the electrical system. And now that the plywood is on, it's more difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
And once it's assembled, everything is much more difficult.
Yeah. And I think what I'm going to do, Jim, what I've done before is take maybe 1/32, 1/64 if I can get away with it, and frame out that access hatch so it isn't just balsa.
Yep. 1/64 is plenty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
So,
use
hey,
that
I
all over
appreciate
the
that.
place.
I appreciate your feedback. You guys know a lot more than I do.
On an electric fuselage in general, you can use 1/64 doublers in the nose as well.
Yeah. We talked about that.
They don't vibrate it. You don't need it.
Yeah.
A 60, you do a layer of 1/16 balsa on the inside. It still is more than enough.
Yeah.
The only reason for which you actually put the reinforcement on the doublers on the nose is because as you load the batteries in and out, it's going to beat up
Right.
the inside of that. But
Right.
that's about the only reason.
Yeah. I
You
put the
really-
battery, the center of the battery right on the center of the wing line. So I have a little notch already in there, figuring that's where the battery should go is, right on the thrust line of the airplane.
Yeah.
It doesn't show, but I'm going to be making cheek cowls for it as well. They'll be functional.
Oh, very
So
cool.
the air can get inside the compartment. I did that on the other plane, on the Marksman, and it came out well.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be neat.
yeah, I
You
may
might
have to
wanna
make, I may have to make my own canopy, which will be interesting. I've tried that before using Joe Adamusco's method. But this is a
I
fairly
did make my
long
canopy with a Coke bottle.
Me
That's
too.
why I make mine.
Just
Yeah.
shrink it down and stuff like that.
Yep.
Think about batteries. They're getting super expensive nowadays, and it's like the Thunder Powers, the 6L Thunder Powers that we use, like they're like $80, close
Mhm.
to. So you might want to consider the Molly cells, or what are the cells that usually whoever makes them.
I ordered some Molicel 21700s.
There's like this 35 amps rated 2800 milliamps battery cells that I was being taught about, and they're like you can make your own battery pack for like $30 a pack.
You talking
Right.
about
Six
the
cell.
Wow.
are you talking about the ones Brett Williams has been working on?
Yes, those are the ones. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that. When was that? Friday?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess it was.
Friday he showed us his end caps that he kind of
Yeah.
copied from David Magatti, I think it was. Yeah, there's a thread on the forum.
I know Bob and his son Robbie have ordered a spot welder.
Yes, and
So
they're like
they're gonna
50
start-
bucks.
Yeah, they're going to start
Yeah.
putting some of those 6L packs together,
Uh-huh.
whatever
Yeah.
the number might be.
Yeah, and you can make them whichever orientation you want to have it. 3x3 in a long pack, like in a triangular shape. I found everything. It's like a spot welder is will cost about $50. If you get 50 of those cells, you can spend like $250, but you get like 8, 9, 10 battery packs, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's great.
So it's a lot of them. I mean, it's overall it's economic, and in the future, if you want to make like a smaller plane with a four cell setup,
Yep.
I mean, you can still use the same exact cells, just make a smaller battery pack. and you can find everything. You can find the on Amazon. You can find those JST balance plugs,
Right.
that you can buy them from over there. They're really inexpensive. I was looking at 6-cell battery pack minus the spot welder would cost me about $32 to make one.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Yeah.
so to me that's almost like a no-brainer,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah.
And they're more compact, they're much shorter, so which means you can move them a longer distance.
Yeah.
The wider the
Mhm.
pack, the less travel you have. As the pack is smaller, you could travel more, so you can
Right.
fine tune the CG to whatever you want to have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trent.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're
Good
welcome.
idea. Sounds like a very good idea.
Yeah, I got batteries on the way. I got the balance leads on the way. I already had the wire, and I already had the connectors, and I did get a spot welder for Christmas. So I'm the only thing I'm lacking is the PVC shrink for the battery pack itself.
Yeah.
Get yourself a face shield so that when
Yeah.
Okay.
blow your head off.
Yeah, I have a face shield already, but I'll make sure I wear it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does you no good at all hanging in the closet.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Hold off a little bit on building that Mark III wing. I'm updating the plans on this ship.
She's built. What are you updating?
Well, the Pathfinder 40,
Mhm.
this one right here, I got my hand on.
Yeah, I know, but what part of it are you upgrading? Because I already have it built. I don't have it sanded, or I would have showed it tonight.
You just got the wing built though, right?
Yeah, just the wing.
Well, you can put that in that profile anyway, but
Yeah.
okay. Well, just know that this, I'll send you the plans when I get them finished. On this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hold off going. I've got two sets. I've got two sets to take to the printer, the Chipmunk and a Mustang. So I'll hold off on them a few days, and when you get
Well,
that
go ahead
done,
and take them out there because it'll be a week before I get this.
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and get these done tomorrow then. I can't wait to see the Chipmunk bigger than what it shows up on my telephone.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
What do you got there, Mark?
Oh, this is the battery hold down I use. It's in Billy's P47. It's in my Marksman, and so I just copied it for this.
Oh, very nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And there's a nylon bolt. I like nylon because it won't unthread in the front.
Okay.
This goes right through my plywood former. And if I need to change the CG or move the vertical CG, I just build another one and move the tab. Okay. And if you see, it's not centered. So I can move this right now.
Oh, I see what
up
you're
or
saying.
down just by turning it around. Okay. And it's really very light. And this, these are pretty big and heavy.
Yeah.
And then I just have a piece of stiff foam on the outside of the fuselage so that the battery won't move anywhere, because it's not going to slide to the inside unless I'm in big trouble.
Yeah.
So it's simple, it's light. You guys know what you're doing. This is just what I do.
I like that.
Same thing.
I haven't
What I use,
made
I
one
use
yet.
some L-shaped channels like this.
Mhm.
You can make them like out of 1/8-inch balsa. You can play them with some unidirectional carbon on both sides, and the battery is going to sit right in between them like that.
Mhm.
And just a Velcro on the outside. Done deal.
Yeah.
Just 2 channels, that's it. And just put them like this, and fasten the ends of the 2 channels however you want to, and the battery drops in and just Velcro around, done.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Thanks, Charles.
Very well.
Thank you, Tryon.
And wait a second. You definitely want to think about not throwing the battery out of the plane.
Yeah, I've done that. It doesn't work very well. Plays heck with your CG.
I have a comment from Brent Williams. He says there's no shame in soldering the lithium ion cells if you have good technique.
It's much harder than spot welding. Spot welding is just quick and dirty and easy. You just do
Yeah.
it.
But
And,
Brent Williams pointed out something, the copper braid, you may have seen Dave Rigotti showed off how he was soldering his cells using a copper braid. The copper braid pass, according to Brent, passes something like 4 times as much current as the what
Tin
you call
plate.
it, the
Nickel,
spot welded stuff.
Nickel sheets. Yeah, but those nickel sheets are about 3/4 of an inch in length.
Mhm.
And so when someone's talking about how much current it could handle, I'm not sure if they're taking into consideration the length. You know, they might have had an
although
arbitrary.
it's the cross section that matters, not
Yeah,
the
cross
overall
section.
length. Even though the length adds some resistance, but it's a cross section
Yep.
that carries the. It's like
Carries the
water through a
current.
hose. You know, the bigger the hose, the more water is going to flow through. Right.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right.
Same thing in electronic world, right?
Right. Okay, that makes
As
sense.
long as you have the cross section, you're going to have the flow you need. I mean,
What
Well,
nickel
that's-
tabs made of that you're welding onto? Are they nickel?
Yeah, I think you're talking about the
yeah, nickel, yes,
the nickel. Yeah, they're
nickel plated.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, another thing I'm thinking of when you are soldering those battery packs, there's a lot of heat that you put on those the terminations of the batteries. I mean, they're pretty sturdy and will take the beating and stuff like that, but I wouldn't take a chance with that. And just too much. If this works, why change it when it's easy and simple? That's the way I would think. I mean, yes, it can be done, but think about those terminations on the batteries. What are they made out of? Stainless steel, right? And you need a lot of heat to solder stainless steel, and flux and all that good stuff. So I think a spot welder is just far more friendlier and easier to do. That's my take.
I'm gonna have to try both ways, but I think the spot welder sounds like an easier answer because I mean, and it's done instead of holding the heat on it till the solder flows. So I
It's
don't know.
much friendlier on the battery in the first place.
Yeah, because you're not putting the heat on the battery to start with.
Yeah.
It's just a instantaneous. and it's over.
Yeah, the one place that I would solder is when you solder the balance leads.
Balance leads.
Those you have to solder because there's no other way around it.
Yeah.
But now, if you solder it in the middle of the lead, where it's the thinnest and the lightest, then the heat is going to go through it very easily. So it's an easy soldering job.
Yeah.
When you have this massive blob of, I don't know. I think it's going to add weight. If you solder them, it's more difficult. It can be detrimental to the batteries as you make it, and it's why make a headache if you don't have to?
Tram, I'm not disagreeing with you, Tram, not at all. But I'm wondering, would the wider area from soldering, so you got more contact area, would that also lower the resistance between the? Would seem to me that you're back to the hose thing with the bigger hose, and
that's also true. I mean, I can definitely see that contact area, but think about it's like the sheet metal is fairly flat, and as you solder it, you don't make contact only just on a welding point.
Yeah, the welding spot is pretty small though. That's where you got the most positive contact. Where that welding spot is.
That's true. Yeah. But
and anywhere
flat
else,
flat kind of thing, right?
Everything else depends on how flat your piece of metal is and what you're soldering or welding to and all that. So you got to look at it like you've only got the spot, that the spot welding is your contact point.
Yeah. No, I get that. I understand that. Now, why? Oh, here's an idea. Like, I'm playing devil's advocate. Why not both?
I don't disagree with you.
No,
Yeah.
Phil,
So
Phil-
you put a hole in the center of the a hole in the center. You spot the four corners, and through the hole in the center, you can put some flux with the soldering stuff like that, and solder it through, and let it wick underneath.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that
That could
idea.
work. That could work.
Because you're talking about a lot of amperage that's going to go through that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Again,
lot
the
of
Like you
what?
said, there are a lot of people that are doing this, and it's fine.
A lot of what?
People that make
the
their own battery
however you wanna
packs,
do
and they work fine.
I thought he said a lot of acid, and I said you don't want to use acid in electronics.
Again, skin the cat however you want, and have a nice day, y'all.
There's some states where they're making that legal where
Ambient, somebody said.
No.
No,
I was saying that there are a lot of people that are making their own battery packs using this welding technique, and they seem to work fine.
They
So
will.
if it's not broken, I'm saying don't fix it.
Yeah, sounds good
And
to
the
me.
same people's doing the soldering, having just as much luck.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just if you got the soldering technique down.
Yes.
I mean, I worked with people that I tried to train, and you can't teach some people to make a solder joint because they just will not get it.
Right.
And other people will come over and just pick it up in 30 seconds. I mean, I got 4 hours to train them, and in 10 minutes they're ready to go to the line and get on the line and start soldering. So, some people it just works and some people it doesn't. But
Yeah.
if you can solder, I'd probably go with a solder joint, unless I was having to buy everything from scratch. But a good soldering iron and all the solder sucker and everything that you need to have just in case, $50 for that spot welder don't sound bad if you're starting from scratch.
Right.
I like Trey's idea. Use them both.
Well, that's probably what I'll do, because I might just weld the batteries together and then
But
solder the wires on.
isn't it the more heat you add, the more damage you do to the battery? Or does I don't know that
That's
much.
what I'm afraid of.
Like if you
That's
do
what I'm
four
afraid
spot
of.
welds on the end of the battery and then you heat it up really again with the solder, you may be doing more harm than good if you do
Well,
both.
no. What I would do if I were going to do that, you put it together with a little metal tab. You're putting a tab to each side of the battery. I'd go ahead and put solder the wire onto it. Have the wire there already onto it, so the heat's done. It's just on the clip.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying
No, I'm not going to put the heat on. I'm not going to put a second to put a heat on the battery. No, I'd
Yeah.
solder the wire on the clip first, and then weld that to the battery and be done with it. I mean, plan ahead, guys. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
It's easy for you to say that,
Well, I mean, you're talking to a guy that's got a wood shop that consists of a Shopsmith Mark V. And everybody says, well, yeah, but you got to change it back. You got to change it for everything you do. You don't plan your work?
I used to.
Well, I still do, but I now have a table saw and, a lot of those. You pick up stuff along the way. But I started out with a Shopsmith Mark V, and I still love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that being said, guys, I just want to say Happy New Year again.
Hey, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming in,
Good to
Ryan.
see you, buddy.
I wish you the best for this coming year, and
Thanks for
gotta
coming in.
Absolutely.
We
Thank you
missed
for coming in,
Get together and
Ryan.
do some building, Trey.
be good.
You too. Take care of yourself.
I have some more comments from Brent Williams and Dennis Adamison. Brent Williams says length does not affect the amperage. See, that's okay. I heard that. And then Brent Williams says also you still have to solder the balance connectors, which Tryon said, and the battery leads. There's no path around some amount of soldering. Then he goes on to say the 0.15 millimeter nickel is good for 5 amps. Copper braid is good for around 25 to 30 amps. And then Dennis Adamison, he had to go because his internet crashed. So that's why Dennis Adamison is no longer with us.
I gotta go too, guys.
Hey,
Happy
Brad
New
the
Year.
Point, thanks for
Hey,
coming in.
Brad.
Happy New Year.
Take care, Brad.
Good to see you, Brad.
I can hear Dennis's stuff given out there. That's
Hey, Mike Lonke, thanks
like
for coming in,
aggravating.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Happy New
Good.
Year.
Good.
Happy New Year to all of you. Anybody fly?
Yeah.
Did
Yep.
you
We
fly?
did New Year's. Yeah, New Year's Day. We sure did.
Oh, good for you. I didn't fly. I think it was raining out here on New Year's Day.
Well, we expected it to be. The hobby park was a muddy mess. You had to pick your park from the circle, which is paved, out to the center. You had to pick your way out there, or your feet got wet. But we had 3 of us showed up and had a great time. 2 of the guys were no shows, but we had a great time anyway.
Oh, good.
Sam and I flew on New Year's Eve, which was Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We went and flew about 10 matches.
Oh, good.
Did great. Didn't break anything. And then we went back the next day on New Year's Day. And our first match, we smashed the 2 airplanes that we had been flying all day the day before and wrecked them both. But we went out, we flew Sunday. It was damn near 70 degrees here in Nashville and beautiful, just beautiful.
It looks like
Beautiful.
it must be warm there tonight. It's cool here. It's not cold.
It
It's
is.
cool.
Yeah, it's like 72 right now. But it rained all day. It rained most of the day. So
48 here.
But
And it
we
was so
flew the
foggy
last
here, you
day
couldn't
of,
see the street.
we flew the last day of 22 and the first day of 23.
Oh,
So
that's the way to
good.
do it.
You did good.
we had a couple of good days, and then this afternoon we got out here in the shop and put Sam's Christmas present together.
Uh-oh, what'd he get?
As we speak, Samuel is 3D printing
Oh,
his
nice.
newest project right now.
Awesome.
Cool deal. Cool deal.
What's he
Very
making?
nice.
Well, there was 2 things that came on the SD card. One was a boat and one was a rabbit. So we're making the boat right now. Just because it was the the easy starter one. My wife thinks it's pretty cool, so she wants to see what the bunny rabbit is. So we're going to do that next. And then we'll get into other stuff of Sam actually downloading files and putting them into the printer. But this is our first test run of the printer, and it's working good. It's kind of amazing to watch, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of
Very
fun.
cool. That's
Once you
great,
get- once you
Mike.
get-
That is awesome.
Hey,
Get
Mike.
it figured out. Tell the rest of us.
Mike,
how it works,
I know a
what it
bunch
is.
of guys who would love to buy small pilots.
Small
Yeah,
pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah. Aren't they too heavy, though? 3D printed pilots? I guess if you ground them out and hollowed them out on the inside, they'd probably be okay. But our biggest thing, I think what I want Sam to learn to do more than anything else is print these.
Reels. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh,
I want him to print reels.
Yeah, Howard makes some real nice reels.
Right. So we'll get there. Like I said, we're going to do the boat and the bunny, and then he'll start to do harder things after that. But we spent the whole day going through, leveling the plate, getting everything to home and where everything should be. And it's a learning experience for both of us, obviously. But he's very excited about it. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes.
What do you got there, Stuart?
How big a part can you make?
That's
Oh,
a
that's
real.
neat.
oh,
That's neat.
Did you make that, Stuart?
Nope.
What Ryan's like this.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
This is the one I've been working on, and this is on. I got this off that Thingiverse, I guess it is.
Thingiverse?
I may be pronouncing it wrong, but just a sec.
While he's doing that, get
This is the
7,
difference
12.
between the 2 sizes.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
But this one's a lot easier to wind and faster.
Yeah.
Both
He's on the
places
line, too.
fast. And it is easier to wind because I used a bigger one than this that was made out of wood. And
Yeah.
it really a lot smoother. So I don't know, it just depends on what you want. They are bigger though, so they take up more room.
Yeah, well, that's because you guys are trying to wind up, 65 foot of line, man. Us F2D guys are only winding 52 foot. So
Yeah.
that was a joke, man.
thought I'd
That
try
was
this.
a combat joke.
Yeah, and
I
combat,
just thought I'd try this anyhow. Just
I
to
think
see
that's neat.
how it worked. I haven't used it yet, but it's done.
Do what, Howard?
combat's mostly just unwinding.
That's good, Howard.
That's
Oh,
good.
that was good.
That was good.
That was good. Yeah.
That's great.
Come here, Sam.
Oh, man.
Say hi, everybody.
If you get salmon
Come
going on 3D CAD
There
work,
he
you
is.
can make
Hey,
your own
Sam.
file.
Hey,
Happy New
Sam.
Year.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year, Sam.
You too.
Sam, you're looking good, buddy.
Thank you.
Despite what your father is like, you're doing well.
Damn. Mark, you gonna stick up
It's a
for
rough
me?
crowd. It's a rough crowd,
Big
Mike.
Sam, he does good.
Now, you're a lucky man, and so is he.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of you
Absolutely.
are.
Ditto.
Tell them all Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Say,
Happy
did
New
you
Year
do
to
my
you.
cool boat?
Want to buy a boat?
He didn't
Wanna
look
buy
at
a
the plans
boat?
good. He didn't look at the plans good. It's supposed to be an airplane. He's building a boat.
Hey, Stuart,
Yeah.
I saw. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
No, that was it.
Paul Taylor says it's on Thingiverse. Thingiverse.
Thingiverse.
That's the place you're looking for, Stuart. Thingiverse. The reels are on Thingiverse. And then Dennis. Oh, excuse me. Mitch Plum. He
I heard
says,
that.
"Why not attach the wires with drywall screws?" Question mark.
Ooh.
I guess we know who our friends are.
Yeah.
Go
And,
ahead.
Hey, I heard that the next thing in batteries is sodium ion.
yes, sodium ion. Yes, that's the next great thing.
They're
Yeah.
a little heavier and they don't have quite the output, but they are cheaper and easier to get the materials and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're working on it. I'm not sure when it's estimated to be available, but yeah, it's going to be the next big thing. Is sodium is easy to find. Lithium is not so readily
Well,
available.
Chevrolet's working on that.
Yeah.
James working on that for sure.
They're supposed to be
Oh, yeah.
working on one.
And you're
that's
back
got
in the
a-
house, Dennis. Thank you for coming in. I see you had another. You said that on Stunthangar in the classifieds, Dave Rigotti is selling the printed ends and soldering braid for anyone who wants to make a pack using the 18650 cells. So that's not the cells that I ordered. I ordered the 21700.
Where'd you order
Correct.
from?
I think mine is coming from Lithium Warehouse.
Lithium warehouse.
Would there be anywhere else?
Yeah, and I think I'm paying like $5.99 a cell.
Wow.
Once you get past 10, then it goes down, and I think I'm not sure where the next break point is at, but I only ordered about 20 cells.
Yeah.
I'm using 4 cells right now,
The
5 battery packs.
they never did say how many you have to order for them to be free, but
Good luck
they
with that.
can't. No, actually, it might make sense. We used to do this with props and stuff like that. APC would only make us props in batches of 200 or more. And so I used to gather up orders and, we could get a new prop that way. Maybe what we need is somebody to do something like that and start ordering 100 or 200 cells and start sending them around.
Yeah,
At
that's
some
yeah,
point, it might become cost effective. You guys, any of you guys who are living close together and stuff like that would make a ton of sense, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Shipping for those is kind of expensive though, so that could,
I don't know. I know I ordered other things besides the batteries. There was I ordered 2 different things, and for 20 batteries, and the other thing, my order was like somewhere around 100 120, I think, 100 and something like that.
20 cells? My word, that's cheap.
If I'm not mistaken.
Think about buying 5 batteries that we've been.
Oh,
that
that's
we've been using.
exactly what I was excited
Wow.
about, Phil.
Yeah. Wow.
I've purchased 5 batteries, and it's like almost $300, and I get the cheap batteries, except for the 2 Brodac batteries, which aren't cheap. The other ones were cheap; they were around $55 a piece, but the Vans were 89.
Yeah, I want to see about getting somebody to make me 2 of those 4 cells that are the 4 together stacked,
right?
Where I can hopefully put them in that Nobler and stick them all the way to the back, and if it'll work, I'll buy 4 more. But we're gonna wait and see. That Nobler, I don't know why I want to fix that Nobler so bad. I have no idea why I want to fix that Nobler so bad. But right now it flies like it's terribly nose heavy, and I just.
Well, that's the thing. I've spent 15 years flying a swept wing airplane that has no business being a stunt plane, and lo and behold, at about 1 or 2% of the time, I've got the thing flying to where it's an okay airplane. All right. And it's been worth it every step of the way. It'll never be mistaken for a USA 1. It'll never be mistaken for a Nobler or anything like that. Right. But I've learned more about how to make a bad airplane good on that than I have on probably anything.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to fix the Nobler, the ARF Nobler, right? That's why you want to fix it.
My experience, Denny, has been just the opposite, making a good plane bad.
Well, that happens sometimes too, but
yeah.
But Phil, those battery ends that Dave Rigotti is selling, I think is just what you're looking for. Look in the classified under Dave Rigotti's thing, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, I saw them, and they look good. I looked at what Brent's making, and I like it. He's got a little more head clearance on it. Forget the wiring of that would cross beat. Anyway, it's just a little deeper. And that space is used to put the wires inside it.
Who's doing that?
Yeah,
that's
David.
Brent Williams is doing that.
Brent Williams, okay. Yeah.
But he doesn't know.
Bob Gore, welcome.
He doesn't know if he's going to sell it. I live close enough to him. I can go up and knock on his door.
Well, if he does, tell him to give me a call. I'd like to have 2 to try.
Yeah. What size? You want 3 or 4?
4 cell 2800s.
Yeah. He's probably listening right now.
Well, I'd like to have 2 batteries and try it in the Nobler. Let's see.
I love Noblers, by the way, Phil, so I don't blame you.
I don't know what it is about them. I mean, it was the first plane that I flew that was really competitive, and I put a shark's nose on the front of it and made it look like everybody thought I was trying to make a P40 out of it. I didn't make a P40 out of it. I just liked the shark's tooth. But that's the plane that I did my first outside loop with, and I did my first pattern with, and I did a lot of things first with. And I just really love the Nobler. I don't know. I've had probably,
if they're set up right and adjusted right, that they're a darn good stunt ship.
They sure are.
As early as they were, Phil, they're a great airplane for designs when they were.
Yes.
I think it was.
That was the very first control line plane I ever saw fly. I was a little kid riding my bike to the recreation center. A guy in the Navy was flying a Nobler. I didn't know what it was at the time, but that's what he told me it was. And I've been in love with them ever since.
Yeah, me too. I think that's the first one I saw fly full pattern. And my first one that I learned to fly on had a Red Hat 35 in it. No muffler, but a Red Hat 35 that Red Gunning had chromed the sleeve and piston for. And I still have that motor. It still runs, but the plane at 1,216 flights broken up line, and pow, it was into that. It hit about 40, it tucked under and hit about 45 degrees on the downline. And I had backed up enough, it went in the grass instead of the concrete. But it destroyed the front end of that airplane.
If I remember, the green box Nobler came out in 57.
Yeah.
And I had mine built by 58 and flew it until I went in the Navy. And hey, I lucked out. I didn't know anything about trimming, but that airplane flew off the board. It was a great flyer.
That was me. I didn't have anything adjustable and didn't know what the heck I was doing, but
yeah,
I put it where it showed on the plans, and there it went. Dennis, what was that guy's name you was telling me had those ends?
Dave Rigatti, Chris Rigati's brother.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the only way you can tell them apart is Dave's hair is a little shaggier.
If you go on the Stunthangar forum, Phil, you can find the thread. And then you can...
it's in the classified section.
I used to fly with Chris in the Milwaukee Club. We were both members of it at one time.
Let me welcome Lynn Burrell.
Thank you.
Hey, Lynn, thanks for coming in. Happy New
Year.
Hey, Lynn's in the house.
I like the nobler stories.
Yeah.
I got a few of my own.
Yeah, that's
Me
classic
too.
plane.
I started 3 of them and I didn't get past the wing. I got to build the fuselage, they all got new fuselages and new tails. So I made originals out of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you
Bob
used to get afford to
Gialdini
do
showed us
that.
his scrapbook from his Olympic series. And he showed the evolution of the Olympic. It started out as a Nobler.
Yep.
Yeah.
First one looked very much like a Nobler, just had twin rudders. But it went on from there to Mark IV, I think, was the last. Or did he have one after that? But it was still a Nobler. If you look at it, it's still a Nobler.
Oh, it's still a Nobler.
Hey, Jim's got to leave. So
Good to see everybody.
take care, Jim.
Take care, Jim.
Happy New Year to
Happy New
you.
Year.
Happy New Year, Jim.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jim. Take care of yourself.
Thanks for your comments, Jim.
Bye-bye.
My the first plane that I ever designed, well, I called it by design, was a Stardust. I always loved, if you remember back when we were kids, the Stardust Motel in Vegas always had that great big sign that they played on 77 Sunset Strip and other shows, and the Stardust, and the way it was on there just appealed to me. So I finally got a picture of it, and I took a Nobler and moved the canopy forward like a stiletto, and that was my Stardust.
Oh, very cool.
But I put the landing gear in the wings, which was a big mistake. And I don't know, but it was my first design, and it was really a Nobler in sheep's clothing, but it looked good. It flew.
Now, why was that a mistake, putting the landing gear in the wing?
Because I didn't know how to brace it right. I didn't do it right. Had I known what I was doing, it would have worked fine. But I didn't know what to do. I took it and put it on a plate, and then glued the plate directly to 1/16, and that just not strong enough.
My second big airplane that I ever had was a Super Ringmaster.
Yeah.
And it had the gear and the fuselage and all that, and it flew like a Ringmaster, It had a McCoy Redhead 35 on it. Well, I picked up, or I haven't picked it up yet, but I managed to get my hands on a original Super Ringmaster kit. And I'm thinking, see, back when I was in the Navy, I bought one at the base PX, and I built that, and I put the landing gear in the wings because my buddies told me there were some guys in the San Fernando area that had done that, and it looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished that airplane. I don't know what happened to it, but it's one I want to finish that idea with the landing gear and the wings on that airplane because I think it would look cool.
Yeah. I tell you what looks like a nightmare, and I've just about got it finished, and it didn't turn out hard at all. I always thought putting the landing gear in the wings removable on something like a Cobra, or what I've got in a Colossus, I thought that'd be terrible because, the cloth, the tissue droops between the ribs, and they're only, they're close together. Mm-hmm. Well, the landing gear takes up 2 full bays, but it also takes up 4 small bays. But all you have to do is sink it in the wing a little bit extra, and instead of using a 1/16 piece of balsa to try to eat everything out, use a 1/8 piece, and then just take your round file and be a little creative. Think about where that tissue is going to go, and it was a guess. I mean, I'm not that smart. I looked at the tissue on two of my other airplanes where how much they had drooped, and I just hogged it out that much. But when I covered it, it worked, and I'm tickled. It looks pretty good. But I have removable wings on a removable landing gear on a Colossus, not wings.
Yep.
I know
That's
people
on
got-
that Torino there. It's got removable landing gear on it.
Yeah, that Torino is a neat airplane.
Charles,
I
can I
like it.
share a picture?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
That's my first Nobler.
Oh,
Wow,
all right. I like that.
that looks nothing
I
like
like
a
that.
Nobler.
Spirit of America. I like that.
That is amazing.
Look at
Oh my
that.
goodness, look at that.
Fashioned after a Italian Fiat G91, which is a lightweight NATO fighter,
Yeah.
and inspired from the profile publication on it, and yeah, I liked it. It didn't look like a
good.
Nobler.
I like that prop.
I like
That's
the prop.
Top flight
Oh
prop. I
yeah,
bet
top
it
flight
said 20.
Super M,
10-6
baby.
maple.
Bet it said 25 cents on it.
I got a bucket load of those.
No,
still.
I think the maples were 35 cents, Phil.
That's
Those
a
were for the
maple
high
there, isn't it?
rollers.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a maple.
well. I was never a high roller in those days. I went with a 25-cent one.
Maple.
So the only thing I was a Nobler was the wing, right? That's the only thing
Yeah.
that was the only thing, just the wing.
Okay, I got one more. I can show you my second Nobler.
Oh, and I just thought of something. Now Jim didn't get a chance to do his share. He wanted to
Oh,
share
look at
something.
that.
Look at that.
Oh, that's good.
Like your wingtips.
Well, that's
That
it.
was
You
good.
got, again, the only difference from the first one was that, the wingtips. And of course, totally different fuselage and everything like that. So,
The little
and of
rudder,
course,
little elevator tips. And that.
yeah, all the cool kids had jets, and they all had, everybody was copying Jim Kostecki and Dave Gerke, and they were putting spears on the tail and everything like that. So,
Almost looks like a Genesis elevator.
It does.
I'm sorry?
Doesn't it?
Very close.
You know, when I was first coming up, first got into it, everybody had the top flight nylon props.
Mm.
And
Oh,
I think we were up to EWs by this time.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, it
think
didn't
you can
take me
see
long to
that.
That's
figure out
DW
nylon.
there for sure.
Yeah.
It didn't take me long to figure out the nylons would hurt you, and those wooden ones wouldn't. Not near as bad. Nylon would cut you like a bologna slicer, and those things would hurt, but it didn't cut you so bad. So I flew wood.
Anyhow.
Everybody else flew nylon. My motors lasted a lot longer, but I it took me a while to figure that one out.
Yeah. I got plans for both of those too. I don't know. It's just one of those things. And Phil, you talked about building your Nobler. Well, both of those airplanes flew pretty well, but I'd really like to see what they really fly like. You know what I mean?
With the
Well,
arrow
build
tire.
one and put
50 years after the case, just how did they fly? I
Build a
think
new
they
one and
flew
put
pretty well.
build a new
So-
one and put an electric in it.
What's that?
I said build a new one and put an electric system in it. Find out.
Well, that's it. The thought occurs. So,
yeah.
I'm thinking about doing, and you're gonna love this. I'm thinking about building another SIG twister and building a new Stinger, putting electric on it, and just see how it really flies. Because the original's hanging downstairs, but the thing's 40 something years old and it's covered in monocoat. I'd be scared to death try to fly it. Monocoat would probably go every which way if you tried to run it. But I wore out 4 motors on that thing, and it's still in one piece in the basement. I don't know how that happens.
Wow.
It's one of the few that survived me learning to fly.
Some
Think of it
planes
this
look
way,
at
Phil.
Starlight.
Take it out and fly it because it's taking up precious real estate.
Nope. I'd rather look
well,
at it.
my friend of mine, Larry Fruits, who you met in Brodac last year,
Yeah, I
he
like
has an
Larry.
All-American that he last flew in like 1974 or something like that.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
And what he remembers, the last contest he flew it in, when he pull tested it, he heard a groan, if you will.
Yeah.
And it passed the pull test, and he flew the contest, and he decided, no, maybe that's enough.
Hang it
And he
up.
put it away and
Yeah.
it's literally, it's been hanging on his wall now through 2 houses, I guess, since 1974.
Decades.
Golly.
I think,
Larry's that old? I thought he was younger than that.
what's that?
I thought Larry was younger than that.
No, he's, I
74,
don't know how old
75.
he is. Yeah, I think he's, 70, I think he's like 72 going on 18, something like that. So,
Larry is
close to-
70?
yeah, I think he's, I
Oh,
think,
I
word.
think
might
every
be
bit of
68, 69. I don't know.
I'm 67 and I thought he was younger than me, but he's not. How about
Yeah.
that?
I don't
He's, yeah, he's a little older than me and I'm 68. So yeah.
Golly, Pete.
Yeah, I
How
tell you
about
what, it's really hell being the same age as old people,
that? I know it. I know it. The hell of it is you can't remember who it is you're older than and who you're younger than.
That's
I
it.
can't.
Dennis,
I have CRSs and I can't remember stuff.
I just know I'll never catch up.
I
Oh,
cleaned
you
that
will.
Hey, Stuart.
I said, I just know I'll never catch up.
up.
Yeah, that's
we're
true.
talking about- my wife asked me today when I was going to get caught up on my to-do list. I still got sweep the walk and shovel the snow from last year on the darn thing. So I don't know.
Makes me
Just
feel
tell her
bad,
like my old
you
Indian
know.
friend up in Alaska said when they hauled him into court for not shoveling his sidewalk. He told the judge, he says, "Judge, the snow there had come by itself, it'd go away by itself."
Yeah. They actually took somebody to court because he did not shovel snow.
Well, it had been 10 years since he'd shoveled it the last time, and it was, like 4 feet. He had to cut steps in the ice so you could get up on top of the snow as you're walking by his place, because
Good
it
grief.
was that deep. It was like 4 feet deep.
Wow. Wow. I can't
But
imagine.
yeah, they took him to court.
Good grief.
Wow. Paul Taylor, he went on to respond about the sodium batteries. He said they're
Yep.
going to be released in 2023.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be as powerful as what we've got right now, but they're going to be cheaper. They're going to be a little bit heavier, but they're also going to be more, what's the word?
Forgiving. Forgiving.
Yeah.
It's supposed to last a lot longer. They got a much greater half-life, is what they call it. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but they just simply hold a charge longer and we'll take
Get them
a
in
charge.
1.5 volt.
Yeah, they're supposed to go from empty to 80% in 15 minutes of charging time.
Wow. I had not heard that. That's neat. I wonder will you be able to use the same chargers though?
I think not, because that's a pretty high amperage rate of charging.
That's what I was thinking. Wow. Got another set of chargers. Sheesh.
Well, you
I
need
got a
them.
wall.
You got to have them. What the heck?
I got a wall of chargers downstairs. Nike heads.
But how many of them are obsolete now?
All of them.
All of them. Oh, Mike's
Yeah,
got his
pretty
hand up.
Hey, Mike, go ahead, man.
Yep, gentlemen, my son is not out here to witness this historic event, but we have a 3D printed boat.
Wow.
All right.
All
Oh,
right.
that's cute.
Cool deal.
It just finished, so
Wow.
there it is.
That's cool.
That's
That's
awesome.
Anybody want to buy one? Yeah.
Anybody want to buy a boat? Yeah, I'm sad he wasn't here when it finished, but it's finished. So maybe this will be a long career of Sam learning to use 3D printed. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, Mike,
Let's see.
seriously.
Mike, is that electric boat or gas?
Dude, that's nitro all the way. Actually, it's Dynajet powered, Mark.
There you
Dynajet
go.
powered. Yeah, Dynajet.
Love it.
Mike, seriously think about him getting into some CAD training at school. Get in
John-
3D CAD work. He can do his own files then.
Yeah, John, that's actually, there was some subterfuge here when I bought this because he wants to make his own stuff for BattleBot components.
Mhm.
And to do that, he's going to have to learn CAD to do it. And I thought, you know what? If I get him this printer and there's CAD stuff out there, he's going to learn it without knowing he's learning something that will be a lifelong skill. And
He's got a reason to learn it. That's the most important thing.
exactly. So, Sam, it's done. Your boat is done. I just told everybody.
He just sold it to us, Sam.
Yeah, I just sold your boat. Highest bidder. Who's got 50 cents? Who's got 75? Who's going to go $1?
Boat, funny,
Yeah.
and then stuff for dough.
But no, it's pretty cool. He's excited about it. He's over here smiling pretty big, man, and he wants to do more with it. So,
Dennis, go ahead, Dennis.
Just a quickie. Larry Fruits is watching the chat here, and he just reports that. See, watching the Hangout 75 this month.
There you go.
Wow, Larry.
Larry, brother, whatever you're doing, continue doing it because I didn't
Yeah,
think
that's
you were
it.
anywhere near that.
I turned.
That's
I think I might be the oldest one here.
Yeah, that's it. Well, just remember, Larry and I both hang out with Wes, so we're the kids. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you gotta wait.
I think. See, I turned 80 this year in May.
Really? Oh, wow. That's
Really?
fantastic.
Cool deal, Santa.
Yeah, I'm so old that the good-looking girls aren't afraid to sit on my lap anymore.
It has something to do with the white beard and the fact you go ho ho ho.
Yeah.
Green giant.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
It's too good.
I tell you what, you got to have a little fun, man. Well, I better get out of here. I got to get up in the morning and, oh Lord, it begins again. Anyway, you guys take care of yourself. Have a great week. Hope you get to
Take it
go
easy,
flying.
Phil.
I'm gonna try it. We're planning to go Saturday, and Tom Looper says he's going to be out again. He's coming
Well,
out.
good.
He's planning to come out Saturday after his open heart surgery and all. And should be 7 of us there flying. And I don't know where the heck the other 5 are, but anyway, we're gonna hope for the best. But guys, have a great week. Joe, you behave yourself.
I'm trying hard. I got to
You're
tell
almost-
you, I flew Monday, but I flew all 3 of my airplanes the same day.
At the same
All
time.
right.
No, I flew the Chipmunk, then I flew the RV, then I flew the S7. So I flew
Oh,
all
that
3
is nice.
first. I've never done that before.
Oh,
But
very
anyhow,
Joe,
flew.
when I get
What?
this thing printed, and ready to go, I want to get you to take some pictures of your chippy.
Okay.
I want to do a
And-
paint job that resembles an actual chipmunk, and you've got an actual chipmunk. So
Cali Graphics has the graphics if you want graphics.
Cali Graphics. Okay.
Cali Graphics. He's
Cali
got my very airplane. Yes, my very airplane.
You want to
Well,
shrink
I think-
it down though.
Yeah, we got to shrink them down a little bit. You know, his is a little bit too
Well,
large.
He
Well,
made them
I-
for my chipmunk, my model, so it'll be really close.
Oh, okay.
And I built your the one you're building. I got in the garage.
All right. Well, you guys have a great week, and I'll see
All right,
you
thank you.
Friday. Good Lord willing. Take care,
Yeah,
everybody.
See you, Phil.
All right, Phil.
Hey, Mike, I have a suggestion from Paul Taylor. He says, have your son learn Onshape. It's free and web-based.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that.
I got a picture for John if it worked. Kind of.
Let's see.
Well, I there.
There.
Yeah.
Not here yet.
No.
Oh, okay.
Is that the guy in the green?
I selected the photo.
Like the photo. Then go down below where it says the screen share.
It says show selected. It says screen share down below.
Yeah, down below it says it's right. Well, it's next to chat and next to record on mine, but yours might be different.
Mine's
It's in
green.
the middle. It's down in the
Mine's
middle.
green. Green.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, put
Okay.
your cursor down near the taskbar and maybe it'll show up. You see
All
the share
I
screen?
Share content. Okay, I push share content.
Okay.
Photos. Picked a photo. Show selected. You see anything?
Not yet.
Okay, never mind then.
Huh.
Okay,
Are you using a
I'm wasting.
Apple product of some sort?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I was wondering why yours says share. Mine says share screen. Yours says something different. So I figured it was the Apple.
Share screen is, yeah, I think another option, but never mind.
Well, no, I'm disappointed.
Me too.
Well, I'll just send it to John then. I can do that.
Yeah, send it to John.
If Howard got something, I want to see it. He's
Hey,
smarter than I am.
Mike Lonke. Maybe when Mike's through talking, maybe he can help. But he's familiar with Apple stuff. Can you help Howard? I know you know Apple. He's trying to share something.
It's
What are you asking me to do something, Charles?
If you could assist Howard.
no, never mind. Never mind. I'm mailing it to John.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I know you know the Apple stuff better than me, so I thought you could help him with
Yeah, I'm Apple, not Android.
All right. So, Lynn, what you been up to, Lynn?
Well, Naomi and I have been working on her tutor. Got the wing pretty much done. Got the fuselage, got the doublers on today and the motor mounts in. So yeah, it's coming along.
This is a Tutor 1 or a Tutor 2?
Tutor one.
Oh, really? So you actually
That's a good airplane.
Yeah.
You have a kit? You have a Tutor 1 kit?
No, scratch build. You can't get a kit anymore, obviously, or not very easily. So we managed to get an old plan for one, and a buddy of mine who's no longer with us, unfortunately, he had the rib templates.
Nice.
So with that was enough. We've got everything we need.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
the wing turned out fantastic. It's coming along really nicely, actually. So
But
she's excited. Anytime Naomi's excited, hey, we're in the shop. I'm good.
What engine you gonna put in it?
Dixon LA 25.
Okay.
You see, the problem with Naomi is when she flies the 40 size airplane, after about 2 flights, her arm's done. Like she just can't fly them consistently. It's like she gets too tired flying the bigger airplanes. But when she's flying the 25s, they don't bother her at all.
I understand. I totally get that.
Get it?
So that's what we've been up to. And of course, I'm getting ready to build something myself as well. So yeah, it's all good.
Very good. What you been up to, Robert Gore?
Not so much that I could brag on. Been working on the Oriental a little bit. Got the wing covered the other day.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of long.
This is a
That's
built-up
about it.
Oriental or a profile Oriental?
I'm building it as a profile.
Okay.
It had a few slides when I got it. It was all, wreck. But I decided I didn't want to build another one of those. I just throw a profile together.
Very cool.
Anyhow, it'll be fun. Something I can maybe get one of my sons to fly.
Very cool. Now, your friend, was it Dave Miller? That was here last Friday. Where's he at? I thought you showed him how to do it.
Well, I don't know. You can lead him to water,
Maybe he forgot. Sometimes people just forget. It takes a while for it to become a habit where, oh yeah, Monday's a show, Friday's a show. I know that some people, when I was trying to get them to come in, they kept forgetting. Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll try again next week. And that happens. So maybe he just needs a reminder.
Yeah, I'll give him a call, see what's going on. Maybe I'll have to go over and help him with it. I showed him everything, but who knows?
Yeah, and sometimes it's you just have a problem just doing it on your own. Looks so easy when someone is helping you.
I talked to Tom Knight today and he wanted to come in, but he hasn't been feeling well the last few days, so he hasn't been in
Oh,
for a
okay.
couple of weeks now. He's not been feeling so great. So I guess he's been going to bed early.
Yeah, get some rest.
Yeah.
He's had an interesting life. He spent a lot of time in the military. Part of it, he was a tunnel rat in Vietnam. He's got some crazy stories. Yeah.
He's tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a scrapper.
No doubt.
Mike, did you want to say something, Mike?
No,
Okay.
no, I just turned my mic back on because I'm back.
All right, he's back.
Right.
I'm back.
He's back.
I mute it most of the time because, I got Emma coming in here, or I'm opening and closing the garage door, or I got noise in the background, or my wife's chirping at me sometimes. A lot of times you don't see what's on the other side of the camera behind that door. That door opens, and that's the redheaded dragon lady going, Mike.
Be nice.
Look out.
I love my redheaded dragon lady, man. I do, man. But
That's good.
That's what they used to call Joan Cox, not redheaded, but they used to call her the Dragon Lady.
I call my wife the redheaded dragon lady, man. So
You are a
Very
charmer.
cool.
I am a charmer. That's why she married me. That's why I tricked her. I tricked her.
Mike, check your chat box at the bottom.
Okay. All right. I will. Now I'm scared. What did I do? I joined Pampa already, Mark. I joined Pampa. I sent you money. Thank you, Mark.
Very
Very
good.
welcome.
Thank you, Mark.
Very welcome.
If Mike ever invites you to his house and offers to feed you a soup and sandwich, take him up on it. He cooks a good basil, baby, and a great cheese sandwich. Woo!
My house is always open to any control line traveler traveling through the country. If it takes you through Middle Tennessee, don't stay in a hotel room. Come stay at the Lonky compound, man. We'll put you up. We have a nice guest bedroom. You'll have your own personal shower. And are we still live?
We're still live.
Oh, and bathroom. I would have used another word there if we weren't live, but you'll have your own personal bathroom, shower, and bedroom. And I'm happy to put up any control line flyer ever traveling through this part of the country. And
Nice.
we can even fly 15-sized airplanes in the backyard. And if you're inclined, we can do pew-pews in the garage as well. Joe knows what pew-pews are.
Be treated well, y'all. You will be treated well.
You can't say the real word live anymore, I don't think. Can't say the G word, but you can say pew-pew.
Pew-pew.
I have a
Don't
comment
miss.
from Paul Taylor. It says, does Mark have a story for us? He always has some humor story. Paul, you missed it. He talked about the story early in the show. It was about how a young lady thinks we're old, basically.
Well, whoever she is, she's right.
Mark can tell all the stories he wants as long as I don't have to listen to another one of his jokes, man.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, I'll listen to your jokes all day long.
Well, you have class, Len.
You know it.
We have so much class. We heard all those jokes about 50 years ago.
Yeah,
Mike,
I haven't.
Mike, I'll tell it real quick. I go to a place every once in a while. It's a very mom and pop little place you can have breakfast. And I decided to go to Google, and I found the ratings, and this little place got good ratings. And I go there, I'll have, a breakfast every once in a while or something. So I looked at the ratings, and they were really good until I got to about the sixth one. And it must have been a young woman. And she wrote, I went to Mary's Country Kitchen. The food is like it's homemade. However, maybe it was the timing, but when I was there were a lot of old men. Period. And then she said, and I mean old men like 70.
Oh.
Some of us resemble that remark.
I'm gonna, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to wear chains or something and look younger in this place.
Get some ink.
Well, I'm just curious. I think I'm the young buck on the crowd right now at 56. I don't think I'm older than any of you guys.
That's right. Well, how Stuart?
Oh, I'm a little older than that.
All right, yeah. So you're the
Hey,
youngest
Mike?
guy, Mike.
Mike.
You're 56.
56.
Well, I got 21 years on you.
Wow.
I only
Yeah.
got 5 on you.
That's why I tell bad jokes.
You're just a kid, Mark.
That's it. I feel good.
Well, I was born in the year that you were probably serving our country.
When were you born?
And then it was
66.
67.
Well, 67.
Ah.
Okay.
67.
I was in the Army then. I was in OCS. And I got into Vietnam 2 years later.
Yep. So I was born, and then 2 years later, you were serving our country, and I didn't have the privilege to serve until 19 years after that.
Well, I heard about a young 2-year-old, and I said, from what I've heard about this guy, I'd rather go to Vietnam.
Wow.
It turned out to be wrong. It was you.
Yeah. Well, you had the privilege to serve, and I'm glad you came back. And although I didn't go in wartime, I also had the privilege to serve. So we're in that brotherhood together.
Absolutely.
I remember something about 67. I was 6 years old, and in Canada, it was our bicentennial year.
Okay.
Like Canada was 100 years old in 67. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So the grocery stores were selling these kites that said, Canada's 100th birthday or whatever. And I loved these kites. I was madly in love with building and flying these bloody kites. And I was only like 6 years old. And I spent all my free time playing with string, tape, and kites. My parents called me from the time I was 6 until I was about 11, the kite crazy kid.
Nice. That's cool.
I
That's very cool.
I was kite crazy.
Then you stepped up.
Dude, I'm sure we all remember everybody had paper kites when they were a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diamond kite.
Yeah.
That was the high flyer kite company, right?
Yeah.
We used to be able to walk down to the corner drugstore and get a kite for, well, in my day, they were 35 cents or whatever. They might have been cheaper for older bastards like you, Mark.
10 cents. 10 cents.
They were probably a dime then, or 10-cent kite. But if you were interested in that stuff in the 60s and early 70s when you came up, there's a whole website dedicated to the High Flyer Kite Company and those paper kites and all of the patterns that they printed.
Wow.
The Saturn missile launch, the Jolly Roger, the Stars and Stripes, the Constitution, the American Eagle, 1776, because they printed they printed all kinds of really cool stuff and a lot of pro-America stuff too from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
There's an entire group and forum dedicated to those paper kites from that era. And you can still find them. There's a traders group. There's a buy and sell group.
It's
For
amazing.
those kites.
Yep.
And I look at those sometimes because I remember, you know, I had probably 10 or 15 of those different designs when I was a kid that stuck in my head. But if you ever had an American high flyer kite when you were a kid, just Google it and go look at the photographs of those kites. And when you see a picture of a kite with an illustration that you had when you were a kid, it's going to take you back, man. I swear to God, it's going to take you back.
That sounds very interesting. I have to check it out.
Yeah. See, Mike, I grew up in New York. We played with sewers and fire hydrants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I grew up in Detroit. We played with firearms and firearms.
I do remember, but I remember asking my mom for rags so I could rip up some rags and make a tail for the kite.
Yeah. They were always diving too much, so you had to put some.
Yeah, right.
That's when we first learned about tail weight.
Balancing. Yeah, tail weight. That's right, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, though, I learned something that no matter
Hey, Joe,
how
I
many
couldn't,
rolls of string you tied and put on there, you know, get 1,000 feet of string, it only goes so high. And the weight
Yeah,
of
then
the
it starts going further away, but not up. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Hey,
of
Joe,
the
I
weight
didn't
of the
quite hear what you
string.
said earlier, Joe.
Did you ever fly a box kite? I thought they were the
Oh,
cats.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The cat's meow, man, I thought.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I tried to make a couple, and every time I tried, they were a big flop.
Man.
They flew like some of my stunters.
You had to get the string right, but
Yeah,
they
I
would
didn't get it
carry more
right.
weight than
We used to have kite fights with them. Kite fights. Yeah, you get out there, those dime kites, and, you know, they're not like the fighting kites you got today, but, you know, you'd work them and go after each other. You didn't have a tail on those usually.
I figured out a way to make the cheapest kite on the planet.
Newspaper.
What I did is I took a sheet of paper, like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, 2 drinking straws for the sticks, cut out the diamond shape, stapled it at the 4 corners, and then I took a roll of my mother's thread, which I got in big trouble for after, poked a hole through the middle and tied that to the cross, and then made a tail out of string and the leftover paper from cutting out the kite. And I'll tell you, that kite flew amazing. My
Did it
parents, when I was like 7 then.
Well, I remember the first time I got my hands on one of the more modern kites where you had 2 handles, one in each hand.
Oh, yeah, I've got one of those.
Those are fun.
By the way, I just found the vintage high flyer stuff that Mick was talking about.
Yeah.
He's right. It's a time machine.
Oh, really?
All right.
I'm telling you.
The whole bunch of them. It's like, I remember that. Things I didn't remember at all until I saw them. You know.
Yeah.
I remember the Stars and Stripes one. That's one that
Just-
got.
Just Google it and then go to images.
Yes, that's what I did.
Do High Flyer Kite Company and go to images and start scrolling. I'm telling you, you're going to relive your childhood. Maybe not you, Mark, because you're too old.
Oh, boy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike. You know, one advantage I had was that with a last name starting with W, I sat right next to the Wright brothers.
Oh, yeah, you did.
You can laugh all you want.
Hey, they developed a lot of their techniques and aerodynamics with kites.
Yeah, they did. They did. But the Google page of High Flyer Kites, I'm telling you, it's a Wayback Machine, and you will see a kite in there that you had when you were a child. I don't care if you're from the 50s, 60s, or 70s. You're going to see a kite there in a pattern because they have pictures of every print they ever did. And for me, a lot of it was, you know, the 70s rocket stuff, the late 60s, early 60s, the rocket stuff, you know, us going to the moon in America. Of course, the Jolly Roger, man, the skull and crossbones. It'll just take you back. I promise you. I think everyone here had a kite when they were a kid.
Yeah.
And you probably got it from the dime store or the drugstore. And I guarantee you, if you got one back then, it was from the High Flyer Kite Company.
Yeah.
And you'll see those pictures, and you're going to go in the Wayback Machine, and it might spur something like your mom or your dad having you at Kresge's or the dime store or whatever. And you got to take that kite home and put it together.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they got pictures of some of the box kites too. Remember those? Those are cool.
Box kites are the best, I thought. Golly.
We still play with kites. Sam and I still buy kite. We have foil. We have
Covered
parafoils.
just around the end. Yeah. I looked at it. I should pull it up here. Hang on a second.
Yeah, share a few, Dennis. Share a few.
I'm looking at my other PC. So stand by a minute. I'll be there in a
All
minute.
righty.
Oh, I can do it. I can pull them up here if you want.
Yeah, do that, Mike. I'm getting curious.
All right. It's going to take me a second.
All right. And we have another 10 minutes anyways. While you're doing that, Frederick Zoller says, just let you know that I really enjoy listening to all you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Frederick. Appreciate that.
It's nice to know that in advancing years, if somebody still gets a kick out of listening to us.
Yeah.
He said it'll come the day, you know.
Hey, Mark.
I'm still awake.
Yes, you in the last week or so, you've made me fry my brain because now I can't decide what to build for that motor.
Oh, well, listen, I remember that you have like 37 projects in front of you.
I got a lot of projects on the go. But
Oh,
now,
there it is.
Now, as one of them, I'm drawing something up for that motor.
Oh, yeah. Dennis has it.
Wow.
Dennis has it.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. I'm trying to.
Hold on. So the High Flyer Little Boy, that was like the earliest one I ever remember. Don't click on it, just because it'll. But right there, Man in the Moon, the red one, the Man in the Moon. That's a.
I think the Strato Flyer. I think my brother.
The Strato Flyer. Yep.
Yeah.
Good Jolly Roger.
There's that Jolly Roger right there. That one right there. I had probably 20 of those when I was a kid.
The one right next to it on the left-hand side is the first one I remember.
Kites.
There's your box kite, Joe. Yep, on the left.
That's so good. That flag one, I had the flag one for sure.
Yeah, I had that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the box kites were the bomb, man.
Man in the Moon, I remember that one.
Yep, the Man in the Moon. Hold on, stop. Go back down, go back down, go back down. Low, stop. The Indian, the big chief guy.
Yeah.
Not PC today, but I had a couple of those.
Uh-huh.
See that yellow one in the middle there? The new
P47.
Yeah, I don't remember the big chief, seeing the big chief before, but a lot of these others sure, like you said, oh, there he is in the air.
Yep. I had a bunch of those. I'm looking for like the Saturn one. So the Strato Flyer, that was good.
Well, back up. There's some.
Well, hold on. You're going too fast, Dennis. You're going too fast. You gotta slow down.
There's some model airplanes there. Back up some more. I didn't know they made airplanes. They're rubber powered. Go the other way.
Back up, the other direction.
Go up to the top, towards the top.
There we go. Keep going.
There
A
you
little
go.
more. Perfect.
Gliders. Okay, Chuck gliders.
Hmm.
I didn't know they made those.
That's the second set, I think.
So right there, the Man in the Moon, that was a big one. And then the Space Master right there. There it is, the Saturn rocket next to the Pepsi. Space Master. Over to the right. Space Master.
Okay.
That was a big one.
Ah, there we
Blue
go.
bomb, that's the bomb right there.
What's the bomb, Joe?
That blue box kite had an
Okay.
airplane.
You know, I don't remember any of these kites. I'm just drawing a
Really?
blank.
I remember a couple
I
of
never
them.
seen John
Maybe I
Deere.
didn't do it. I don't know.
I've never seen any of them.
That's because you're in Canada.
Are you kidding me?
They wouldn't allow them to sell.
Oh,
them.
the clown right there. The
Yeah, I
circus.
remember that.
Had that one. Yep.
Not
Yep.
a single one, do I reckon?
There you go. The that one right there. Stars and Bars. That was one.
Hey, Len, did you have Canadian themed kites for sale?
I think there's a couple on here.
Not-
when I was
I
a
don't
kid.
remember. I don't
Len's-
remember any.
Len's a little younger, so
How about a rainbow?
Well, look at that kite reel.
there you go.
Ooh,
Wow.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
The company I remember was called Gala.
Oh yeah, Gala.
They made mostly bat kites.
Yeah, I
That
had
was in the 70s, and they were plastic kites.
Yes,
Plastic
yes.
skin and plastic ribs in them.
Yeah, and a wooden spar.
Yeah.
big
This guy
eyes.
looks pretty awesome.
I still
Yeah,
have a
that's pretty
couple.
awesome.
Look at that one on the left-hand side there, Principles of Flight. It's like a biplane kind of thing. Keep going. Go down. There it is, left-hand corner.
This one?
Yeah. What do they got? A weight bag on that thing or something?
Says
I don't know.
principles
There's
of
one I see. Look at this. Look at the bottom of the screen. See the
That's a
one with the
basket.
eyes on it?
Yeah,
Right
that's a
beside-
Gala.
Yeah, the one beside the box kite. I've got one of those in my basement.
Oh
yeah.
Gala.
Yeah, Gala. I had all those different Gala kites. I had the bat kite, the black one at the top. I had the one with the eyes. I had the red and white one. See, they were all sold in Canada. That's why.
I had those.
Yeah.
Some
I had the top right, that one.
I remember a kite that had eyes like that one.
That's a Gala kite.
Yeah.
The one that had eyes was a Gala kite.
Okay. That kind
Gala was the first company in the 70s that came out with plastic, like garbage bag material kites that had plastic parts. My
Used to make
flyer
kites that-
was school. They were wooden and paper. But then eventually in the 70s, they still made a diamond kite, but of plastic, but with string running through the outside. But they didn't stand up because they ripped. They always ripped.
A diamond kite.
That one of them. Whoops! Stop. Go up one. Just go up one there. There's a monk. No, the other way. The other way. I'm sorry. Go down one.
The
What?
other
Right
up.
there in the middle. That's a box kite.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
Wow.
I never had one of those.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow.
That is something.
That's pretty big.
That is pretty awesome.
Looks like a bookshelf.
Well, you know, it's funny. We're talking about kites here because we're control line model airplane guys and going back to kites. But some of their first flight was people getting hooked to big ass kites and going in the air, man. The Chinese did it a long time ago. They
Well,
built
they actually had men carrying kites.
and they put people on them, man. You know?
Yeah, they used them in warfare. The man would sit on there and he'd get up above, and they couldn't shoot him with arrows, and he would signal to where the armies were and where the he was an observer.
You know, I
Well,
tell you,
Took a lot of balls to strap yourself to a kite, man, and get hoisted up in the air.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
they call it, yeah. They call it hang gliding now, I think.
Yeah, I forgot that they gave out kites like from the gas station. I seen the Sinclair there, and that brought back because my dad always went to the Sinclair station.
Hey, there's Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for coming in, Steve.
All right. Have we had enough of this?
Yeah, I'm ready to end the live stream.
Go to bed.
I want to thank everybody. Thanks for coming in, and thank you for starting off this new year with a bang, and looking forward to more and more and more of these shows. And hopefully, if you don't know anybody, if you know someone who should be in here that's not, let them know that what they're missing out on, and have them come in. If they need help getting in, have them contact me or one of us who can show them how to get in here. And I really look forward to seeing and meeting and having even more friends. So anyways, with that being said,
Yeah,
I want to wish everybody good night, and come back Friday. Hopefully you have a chance to work on your shop, do some flying, and come back and tell us all about it. That would be great. So